Welcome to BUNIYAAD Podcast by Dr. Monica Nagpal. We did not inherit this world like this. Then how can we give this to our next generation in this form? We need to reflect mindfully on our core values and make conscious efforts towards protecting the planet and also achieve all sustainable development goals. With BUNIYAAD, I, Monica Nagpal, will bring to fore sustainability champions who are striving to bring back harmony with the nature and also dignity of each life. Namaskar दोस्तों, today again we are here for yet another episode of BUNIYAAD, laying the foundation of sustainable living. And today we have with us very wonderful Sonal Shukla. Welcome, Sonal.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me here. Very glad to be here.
Thank you. So Sonal is a founder and co-founder, you can say, co-founder of econscious. Yeah, sustainability is lot of consciousness involved. And I'm sure this is all going to be very fun for all of us because what she's doing is superbly well. And she will introduce herself now so that we know in what way she is helping us to have a very sustainable future. Sonal, please introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm Sonal, co-founder of econscious, which is a social impact startup working in plastic waste management domain. I like to introduce myself by saying that I'm an electronics engineer turned into an ecopreneur. So before working on this project, I have done my bachelor's and master's in electronics and communication, and I was working as an VLSI engineer. And during COVID, when all of us were becoming more and more aware about our environment and everything, that is when I thought to make a switch towards sustainability, towards being more conscious towards the environment. And that is when we started econscious. So we are two co-founders into the startup, and that's a brief about me, how I switched from an electronics engineering to being into the startup.
Yeah, but again, coming back to your introduction again, this is a very smooth switch which you have told us, but I'm sure it was not very smooth as you have told. It was not that easy. So please tell us that how did you stumble upon sustainability?
It wasn't like, a planned thing, I would say. Like, I have been a person who was always a conscious person towards the society, towards the environment and all those things. I remember during my college days, I used to carry those, small wrappers and everything in the side pocket of my bag. And whenever I used to find the dustbin, I used to dump it there because I was very conscious about that. I have to keep my environment clean and everything. I was very much motivated by the Swachhata Abhiyan and all those, initiatives. And so that has been inside, I think, my mindset that I have to take care of the environment or the society and those things. And luckily, I met Vaibhav during, when I was doing masters, and he comes from environmental engineering background. And during our masters, we went on a group of friends. We went on a mountain trekking, and those wrappers, again, I think there is some connection between the wrappers. Since the college days, I used to be very conscious about dumping it to the right place. And when during that trekking, I found those wrappers lying there in the scenic beauty of mountains, it again clicked to our mind, like why people are doing this, or why we are dumping these things in the mountains or anywhere. So that was the thought process, as in when we started thinking about the problem, and we thought of doing something about it. Coincidentally, COVID happened just after that trip. And when all of us were discussing about the problems and sustainability, as I told earlier as well, at that point of time, I thought of doing really something about it. And I thought, let's give it a shot, because Vaibhav had this idea of, we can do something on the waste to value generation sort of a model, and we should try this. So I thought, like, let's do one, switching and see how it goes, because I always had that passion of doing something good. In my thought process, I was like, 3-4 साल job करने के बाद I'll start my NGO and I'll start working towards some social causes and everything. So when this COVID thing happened, he had an idea, and I just came along that idea, and I started contributing from my side as well, as in what we can do more about it, how we can create awareness, what product we can make, and all those things. And that's how we started sometime around 3 years ago during COVID. It wasn't easy because, when you come from a middle class background, it is never easy to make these switches or to sort of take these decisions. But I've been fortunate enough to have a very supporting family and friends, and that's how I made the switch, and that's how I came along.
Absolutely wonderful. Because today youth really need such kind of inspiration, Sonal, as you are doing. Because coming to a social entrepreneurship is a very difficult choice, actually. No, and I have been having a few conversations with all the youth now. I'm so happy that they are here in this podcast, meaning that they have that kind of an awareness and that they have that kind of a बोलते हैं ना जज्बा है उनके अंदर तभी
Correct,
तो वो यहाँ है. So they
correct,
are here because they have that kind of a beautiful insight inside in them, and that they want to do something for the society. They want to give back to the society because not everybody will have that kind of a thought process. But they want to earn. अब अच्छी नौकरी चाहिए उनको और उसके बाद अच्छा कमाना है, उसके बाद अच्छा घूमना है. So that is the kind of mindset usually the youth will have. But now that the youth are really realizing that they are going to be the inheritor of the earth, which is now very, very spoiled. So it is, they have taken this responsibility that it is our responsibility to also mend what has been done. And okay, our generation also feels sometimes sorry that we are the ones who probably have done all of this. But yeah, consequences, because we also wanted then our children to be very, very pampered, probably because we were not that pampered. So we wanted our
correct.
children to be very pampered, and in that only we were able to spoil it all. तो आप लोगों के लिए खराब किया, अब आपको ठीक करना है.
In fact, I would like to add one point here. Like I have seen this, even the generation after, like my generation, these Gen Zs that we are,
Yes, yes,
very much
yes.
aware about. They are so much conscious about all these things, and I feel very happy seeing them, taking these initiative, be it colleges or schools or whatever. They are very, very conscious about that this thing is there,
Correct.
and we have to do something about it. They are doing something in their capacity. So I think it's a good sign that more and more, people are coming towards the problem and solution side of it. And from young generation, it creates a wider, I think, impact because of
Actually,
their, aura
actually,
and how they describe the problem and
yes.
everything. So it's a good sign, I think.
Absolutely. And moreover, the way they describe it is because they are more techno savvy.
Yes,
Because they can really actually take the social media in the right way, because instead of
right.
wasting time on social media by just flipping through, they can actually use the time and you can use their knowledge of social media to really create that kind of an impact which is required in the society, and we can
Right,
really
right.
upskill and upgrade so many things which are really taking a back seat otherwise by the older generation who are not that much skilled in the technology field, and they feel that handicap and they are not. And also probably as you told, there is some resistance to change, but now the new
Hmm,
generation is very open to change. So
correct.
that is also a kind of a good sign. And we are hopeful that yeah, we are whatever the world is going facing now, we will be able to revert it back. Probably by 2050 it
Definitely,
is going to be a bit better world which we will see. So thanks to
definitely.
all of you that you are taking such beautiful steps, and you have such kind of a thought process which is so mindful and so much sustainable here. So now that we know about what Sonal has been having her mindset, but now what all came out of that? Now, did she produce? What did she do in that e-conscious way is what we are going to get to know now. So Sonal, please share about your product or what you are doing. How is your sustainable journey creating an impact around everybody? Yeah.
Sure. So, as I told, like we started sometime around 3 years ago, and that at that point of time, our idea was very basic that हमको waste से कुछ valuable बनाना है. That was the just idea or thought process that we had. Eventually, we started working towards the solution or towards the product, and we found that we can make these boats out of the plastic waste. So we process post-consumer plastic waste to make these boats like plywood. So these are like replacement of, say, plywood or wooden board that we make. And after making the board, we make use of it as in regular plywood, and we make variety of products out of that. So if I talk about our product category, so we have like small pots, planters, coasters that can be used for, gifting, and again creating awareness when you're gifting it to somebody.
Yes,
And
yes.
then we have a public product range where we make these park benches, dustbins, artworks that again create awareness in the public domain. So our thought process is to make product as such that can again create awareness in some sort of one or the other way. So we are making products in that in thinking from that direction. And if I talk about the impact that what we have created so far, so I think not just the environmental impact by recycling the plastic or saving it from going to the landfills, we are also generating some sort of employment for people. That is the other social impact that we are creating. And both Vaibhav and I feel very, very grateful that we have got this opportunity, that even if we are giving employment to say 4 or 5 people, that is something good.
Absolutely.
I feel that is the best, I think, outcome of what we are doing, and apart from the environmental impact that we are creating. So far we have recycled more than 2.5 lakh kgs of plastic waste.
Wow.
And being at the initial stage, from top level, it might seem like a very small impact, but since we have worked really hard, we feel
Correct.
really proud about it, that we have been able to achieve this.
Yes,
And
yes.
that is our thought process, to create environmental impact, to create social impact. That is why we like to call ourselves as a social impact startup, because that is the core of it. Business is the other side, but in the core, we want to create some sort of impact. But apart from that, what I have realized in these couple of years in the past, that when we started working on this project, our family or our friends were not very much aware about the problem. So the direct impact that we have been able to create by awareing people, surrounding us
Yes.
is something which is very, very valuable, I think, because um, before this, my mother was not aware about that you can compost your organic waste, or she was not aware that we should source segregate. Similarly, my friends was not aware. Like when I first shared the idea with my best friend, he was like, he this is not going to work, because in India people do not think like that. But now
Correct.
he appreciates that whatever you are doing, I'm very proud of it. And
Yeah.
they also, take those little learnings, or what we share with them as in their practice in their life. So that is I think that is the more valuable impact that we have been able to create. And I always tell everybody whenever I'm like, कि आप जो सीख रहे हो आप बस आगे वाले को थोड़ा सा बताते जाओ. That is how we can just
Yes.
increase our
Yeah. We can just create
geographical.
a ripple effect by just one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
yes. So that is what I'm trying to do. That is what we are trying to do from our startup as well. And from the core, we are recycling the plastic waste. But apart from that, there is a lot of backend that goes into it. Source segregating is one part that we try to promote. And after source segregation, we collect the plastic waste and then process and make product out of that. So, that is the whole what we are doing and how we are creating the impact.
Superb, superb. This is so important that what you're talking about is that impact is social as well. Also, climatic change is happening because you are
Right.
being able to get the plastic which is not going to the landfill, and it has been used in a more productive way by turning that plastic into something very valuable, which is in the public domain, or it is in the kind of an awareness campaign. You can use all of those products. But what I wanted to understand here again is that how are you able to make it a more financial viable project? Because if somebody will be listening to this podcast, and if that's youth would want to follow your footsteps, they will also want to know about the financial feasibility, because everybody at the end of the day, you need money for everything. So how are
Right.
you generating some financial like advantage here also? That also we should know.
Definitely. Whenever we are, anybody working would always think about their, what chahiye, you need something to run your life. And
Yes,
even
yes.
once you are okay with that, then only you can do better for the environment or for society or whatever. But first you need to realize like how you're going to run this, how you're going to get the money. So we did some initial calculation about what product we can make in future and how we can, generate revenue out of it. That was that was there, even though we started like a very much like a college project or something like that, but eventually we got into this business thing, understanding business model and all those things. A lot of learning came through incubators, and we sort of got some mentors who keep guiding us, towards the business side of it, and that is how we are learning. And I would say the model that we are currently working is financially viable. It can be scaled up to a certain scale where you can, generate revenue
Yes.
in apart from creating impact, if you're able to generate the money, that is the best, I think, the
Absolutely.
combination that you can, choose as a career. So, it's a financially viable project, but after the initial awareness, after the initial research that you have to do, and because initially when we were making the product, we were not very well able to, project it to the customers, because always they are thinking from the money side of it, कि comparison करके कि ये सस्ता मिल रहा है, ये महंगा है, ऐसा करके.
Correct.
So then you have to think like what product you can make, that you can make it as a very market fit product that can be very financially viable for the customers as well.
As
And
well.
so those are the points that you have to take care of. But talking from the perspective as in, if you can, if you should pursue as in social impact as well as the business side by side, you should. And this can be a lot. I have seen recently a lot of people taking these initiative as in social impact as well as the business startup, whatever model, and they all are working really fine, I would say, because now from the government side as well as whatever companies who are working for CSRs and all of those, things are there and awareness is being created. So definitely there's a good scope, and one should think about it.
Wonderful. So yeah, anybody who is listening to the podcast now, they can really understand that becoming a social entrepreneur is not that you are giving your life for nothing. No, you can also live a very nice and comfortable life, even if you are working for the society and you are giving back to the society. Because with the money, you will also have a lot of good wishes, and you will create a lot of good fortune out of it, which will actually help you to stay healthy and happy in your life. And that is the most important thing. No, why, when we are talking about reasonable consumption and mindful consumption, we cannot be just having money just to consume more or just to have more. No, it is
Right.
to, the more you give, the more it will come back to you. That is the whole philosophy behind reasonable consumption and mindful consumption that we always talk about, which is also part of the SDGs, whatever we are talking about here.
SDG
So
12 is about responsible consumption, right?
yes,
I would
yes,
like to add one more point to whatever I just said, that if you choose this, just have some patience, because it is not going to be like if you're starting today, after a year you'll start making revenues or start making profits or whatsoever. It will take time, but it is like a good space to be in. So you
yes.
should, apart from whatever you are having, the good intent and everything, you have to have the patience as well.
Absolutely. And what even yesterday when I was talking to somebody else, I was talking about collaboration. Because sometimes when you are you really want to do it, and probably you, now that you have Sonal, who has already gone through a lot of difficulties, and they've come to a level where they can really share the knowledge and share this the know-how, so that you are coming out of it very easily. So that
Right.
kind of collaboration can always be done, because it is such a big country, and we need lot of people in every country, every state, every small villages or cities. We need such people. So it is, there's no competition actually at all. So you all will have space, but it is always good that you can share your know-how here and there, so that everybody don't have to go, again start from that scratch. No,
Right.
that will help. So you can contact Sonal, and Vaibhav is now a business partner. Now is it also her husband, and they are really doing wonders as a couple. They are a social couple, you can say, social impact couple now. So
Great.
very much congratulations for that also, that both of you
Thank
are
you so
doing so
much.
wonderfully well. So now can we come to the point of how practically, because if not everybody would want to become an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
They would be wanting to still contribute in some way. So how, as an individual, can somebody contribute in some way of the kind what work you are doing?
Uh, like there are two sides of it. Like one is if you want to do your bit, uh, with the help of us. I mean, what we are doing, if you want to contribute to that, what you can do, if you're based in Delhi NCR, you can source segregate and we can help you recycling that plastic waste of yours. That is one way of doing about it. But if you're not in Delhi NCR, what you can do is just make yourself aware about source segregation and do that. You will always find somebody, some recycler or some responsible organization who would be doing something in that direction around your locality, and you can find that person, or maybe you can get in touch with us. We can help you find those people in your area. And yeah, source segregation is something that can increase the rate of recycling. So we sort of just recycle something about 35 to 40% at the moment of what I'm talking about, the plastic waste.
Correct.
So if we source segregate, the chances are more of it going to the correct pipeline towards the recycling rather than going to the landfills. So you should make aware yourself about the source segregation, and you should get in touch with an organization who is doing something around recycling or something around the segregation or waste management. They can always help you in sourcing that plastic to the right person or right cycle. So, I mean, we can always increase the chances of recycling. So that is how I would like people can, coordinate with us or maybe collaborate with us. You can also, like, if you are say you have those leadership qualities, if you are a part of any society or any community, you can take those initiative. I mean, if you are from Delhi NCR, I can come along. We can do a awareness campaign sort of a thing, and we can ask more people to join hands and collect
Right.
at a community level, and then from there we can collect the plastic waste and put it to the recycling. So those are the kind of partnerships we can have. We can have those sort of we
Very
can together create a bigger impact, I believe.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. One person going 100 steps, 100 people going one step is better, I think,
Exactly.
always. And if I may just ask you, what are the challenges that you are facing, so that we are also able to understand a
Hmm.
little more about what challenges do you actually face in your whatever the e-conscious is doing?
Hmm. Challenge wise, from the business perspective, funds are always the challenge. Every startup is always, in the lack of funds. So that is one side of it. And apart from that, we are looking for like-minded people to join our team. So we are looking to expand our team. That is something we are currently very aggressively looking for. And apart from that, I would say the challenge. Um, I mean, if we are selling a product, if there is no awareness about the product or about the problem, then it is very, very difficult to project it to the concerned person. But if there is enough awareness about it, then it becomes easier. So I would say the challenge still, apart from all the policies, apart from all the initiatives, still there is a very lack of awareness about
Right.
recycled plastic products in the market. We try very regressively to pitch our product to a generic customer who is, for example, using some sort of say wooden bench, and if we
Mhm.
pitch our bench to them, they are not very much happy to make that switch. So if there
Right.
is enough awareness in the society, then maybe they'll think from that perspective. But still we are very, very behind from what
Yes.
should we have
Understood.
as a society.
Correct, correct. So that
Those
is
are
why
the
it is
small
important.
challenges.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. So the whole point here about this podcast is also to bring about that kind of an awareness that this is possible. We can make something good out of the waste. That is possible. And we can use that good in many, many ways. Like that furniture is as good as, and especially if you have to use that to for the children who are in the government school, in Anganwadis and
Right,
places where they are actually having no furniture, even if it is not even about switch, it is about giving them furniture. No,
right, right.
switch will only happen if they have something. When they do have nothing, then this is better than what you are not able to provide them. So at least provide this one, no, which is made out of a waste which you have generated. So also important, one challenge I think would be to get the right amount of plastic, no? Because probably
Yes,
you will get plastic which is not that good quality or whatever.
right,
Which so it is important that we get the right plastic for this, and it is our responsibility as individuals to actually bring about that plastic, segregate that at the source itself. Don't mix your plastic, collect them in a bin or a carton at your own home, and probably then you can give it to any recycler and who can just take it and give to the right person where it can be recycled. So
right.
these are some things which we can really follow, and we can really help such startups as Sonal has. I'm sure there are many in the whole country which are doing such work, and I'm trying my best to bring all of them here on this podcast so that we can really come together and make this planet a beautiful place. And Sonal, one last message from you for the youth and for the oldies and for the young, everybody.
One message would be to just, consume very consciously, I would say.
Hmm,
Like,
hmm.
you know, uh, I mean, so many times when, I mean, somebody buys a product, we see that and we just feels like कि हमें भी चाहिए. So
Correct.
before that, वो एक thought process आता है कि हमें भी चाहिए. उससे पहले stop yourself and just ask if you really need that. That is the
Correct.
basic, I mean, bare minimum that you can do for the environment and for yourself. You'll save a lot of money as well from, unconscious consumption. So, I mean, just be aware about what you really require and just get those things. Reuse a lot of times we need to think from that perspective, the basic 3R concept: reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that is the very basic, bare minimum thing one can do, and that can create like huge impact. Like what you said, like 100 people walking one step, like a thing,
yeah,
kind of a
yeah.
thing. So, if you are doing very small thing at your capacity, you can really contribute. So, just be conscious about your consumption, I would say, and just use whatever required and stop yourself from unnecessarily buying things.
Absolutely. This is so important. And coming from a young person who really, they really want to have so many things and they really want to have the best, because for every picture they have to put in Instagram, they have to have a different dress. Coming
Definitely.
from
I
that,
like I would like to share this. When I started this startup, I think for a year or so I didn't buy anything from Myntra or any shopping sites, as in like clothes or something like that. Because I was very much conscious, like if I really needed it, I was just going to market and buying it, because that sort of create that boundary.
correct.
When we have the access to this thing, apps and all those things, it is very easy, and we
Yeah.
before that, I was doing very rigorous shopping and everything. But after coming to, I mean, after starting this initiative, I got very, very much conscious about my consumption, and I started doing it very consciously.
Absolutely, yeah. So that is what is the most important point, that you have to consume less. When we consume less, naturally the waste will be less. No,
Right.
every time you are using more, you are producing more and more waste. Probably it is eating or buying or whatever accessories or so many things which you keep on coming. And Amazon is the good brother who has brought
Even
everything.
gadgets as well. Even gadgets as
Gadgets.
well, because yeah,
Yes, yes,
there's a lot of
gadgets.
e-waste already there. We do not
Right.
need to, just
Actually,
because we have to have a new phone every year. So
yeah.
just think like if you really need a new one.
I was also coming to one point here, Sonal. I just had one thought when we talk about creating waste. I was also thinking about creating the digital waste which we are creating
Right.
nowadays. No,
Right.
because the same idea by so many different people has been put on the YouTube.
Hmm.
So it is as if like a digital waste, because you have your own followers, the same things you are posting, the other person is using the same topic and they are again giving out. So how many new channels are coming up, how many new Instagram pages are coming up having the same kind of thing, and also people just who are just putting nothing, just but they are just doing some funny things and they're putting it there, and that is how they are getting some followers. But that is digital waste.
Right.
That is what I'm feeling, that no, it is
Right.
digital
Right.
waste we are creating. It has no value. Actually, there is no value of such videos of or such things which are put on the like social media. It has no value, but it is creating a digital waste. So it is also our responsibility now that we don't create. If you have a good idea, please put it down. I request like that.
Yeah.
We should put the good ideas so that people will know, get aware about certain things. But if it is a very repetitive thing and you just want to do something, please don't. There are so many things we can do, but don't create
Right.
the digital waste also in the social media.
Right. I mean, this is a digital waste as well as it has some sort of carbon footprint in the
Correct.
environment. So every email, every image, every video that we are sharing has some sort of impact in the environment. So again, consume consciously,
Correct.
I would
Correct.
say.
Absolutely. We put it down there and people just every time you have a WhatsApp, you open your WhatsApp and there are so many forwards, and every time you open it, you are creating a carbon footprint. So we have to be very, very conscious about all of this. And we are so thankful to Sonal for sharing such beautiful insights. And we can just go on because I just really love talking to the youth. And she has such a pretty smile, and I can just keep on talking. But yes, we will be able to adhere to whatever the message she has given, and we will take it forward. And I can call out now to anybody who is hearing this podcast and is in this field itself. If you can think of something sharing here, you can be my next guest here. You can just DM me and I will reach out to you and we can be here together. So thank you so much, Sonal. It was really wonderful. Namaste.
Thank you so much. And I would just like to take this moment to say, like, you are doing a wonderful job, wonderful initiative that you have taken. And I wish that, more and more people come along with you and share their experiences so that we can create a bigger impact in the society. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for doing that. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you.